Welcome to another video of Walk with Phil, and I'm here in West Bromwich, and in fact I'm just standing in a road called Hartland Road, and it's right opposite Beacon View Road here on the Charlemont Farm Estate. I thought to do a revisit today. The last time I came here I went down one or two of the roads off Beacon View Road, but today I'm going to go right down the bottom of this road. I'm not going to go left, I'm not going to go right, I'm going to go straight down to the bottom Beacon View Road. And there was one or two things I wanted to mention last time, but I completely forgot, so hopefully I'll remember this time. Anyway, let's go down Beacon View Road. Yes, Beacon View Road, just ahead of me here. And if I just pan you around here, we've got Hartland Road here. And Charlemont Road, I think this is the one in front of me. And that runs down there. Currently doing some road repairs down there. That will take you down towards Bird End and Wigmore Farm area. Yeah, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go down here, Beacon View Road. As I said, I did come down here before, not so long back. But I thought it's time for a revisit. And I just want to show you this place here. I was a bit unsure the last time I came here whether the Charlemont Bowling Club was still a thing, but indeed it is. It's still very active. And just behind here, there used to be a farm called Charlemont Farm, but you're talking like turn of the 20th century. There was a farm called Charlemont Farm. Of course, that's where we've got the name of this estate from. And beyond, and even beyond the farm, there used to be Charlemont Hall. And that was a fine building, apparently, built around 1758 or thereabouts. And of course, what West Bromwich tend to do with anything of heritage, they knock it down. It was demolished in 1948, but there could have been various reasons for why it was demolished. But demolished it was. This area was created around the early 1960s. Was it 1963, 64? And as you can see, we're coming down a hill. And I will also have to walk back up this hill later. But it's all good exercise. It's a particularly cold morning. We're in December now. Already we have some low-rise flats ahead, look, with their yellow, orange and turquoisey balconies just over there in the distance. This is a particularly busy road, is Beacon View. Cars going up and down, up and down. I haven't seen the bus yet. I mentioned on my last video of this area that the buses I remember was the number 38 that used to chug up this hill and take you to the bus station in New Street in West Brom. Then it became the 438. I don't know what it is now. Julia Gardens up there, all sealed off, no through road. We've got the spinner here. Built in 1969. One of three pubs that would serve this area of Charlemont Farm, with the mill just a bit further on, and further on along there would have been the navigation right at the bottom. Yeah, the spinney was a favourite haunt of teenagers back in 69-70 after the fire of the arson attack on the dance hall in New Street, West Brom, in Delphi. For some reason, they all seem to have congregated on this particular pub. We've also used to be frequented by a few footballers from West Bromwich Albion. Jeff Astle was one of the patrons to the pub. still there's these maisonette type properties. And of course Beacon View Road's got a lot of these mini roundabouts now. It's like a traffic calming measures, really. Yeah, a lot of these flat roof maisonettes, all here on my left. Charlemont Hall, it was up there, back of those trees somewhere. There has been a few murders around on this estate over the years. Yeah, I'll show you some rather peculiar looking buildings, shall we say, here up in Daisy Drive. I'm going to have a close look. And here we got some little warehouses as well, actually. As you get close, they're like warehouses, don't they? You've got all of them down here, look. All around here. In the bottom here, looks like they've got garages behind the shutters, look. You got the 2 stories above there. Yeah, all the way down there, look. They remind me of these like kind of warehouses that line canal wharfs, you know. But my nan used to live in Beacon View Road. I'll show you where it was. So I was a regular visitor to this area in the very early 70s. These actually look like nuclear bomb shelters. Whether they can sustain a nuclear bomb blast, who knows, but sadly I'm not a fan of those. I don't know what's going on around here. Why they built them like they did. Now, if those were kind of look like warehouses behind, these here were a bit like beachside properties, these, except we haven't got a beach. There were sand pits around here, but they were right down the bottom of Beacon View Road back in the turn of the 20th century, and they wouldn't have looked out of place, these places. What's this bus coming up here? Yeah, it's a 45. The Diamond bus service. Yeah, you can see, look, we've got some very bright lime coloured strips just underneath the gable. Just on the gable, look, just underneath the apex. So they've added a splash of colour to them to give that feel of a beachside property. Anyway, it's just my opinion. Beacon House, just on the corner here. And all these properties are newly built. They was built after 2002, after the demolition of Kennedy House. This is Smithmore Crescent. Yeah, Kennedy House was around here. The notorious Kennedy House, when I was remembered it, because you could, well, they were a bit odd in the way they was built. You went downstairs to the 2 bedrooms and to the bathroom, and upstairs, back upstairs to your living area. I think that's the way they was designed. But there was a lot of dog fouling in the corridors. The lifts rarely worked. A lot of antisocial behaviour in them. And what was left here is Marshall House, the other one. I think the Kennedy House was painted blue and the Marshall House was painted yellow on the sides. Give you that look of a couple of matchboxes, and you'd always see them as you was travelling on the M5 that was just beyond both these blocks. We'll have a look at them a bit bit more close up in a bit. Just show you the shops here, along here now. We've got the Beacon View supermarket, the Grill and Grub. Apparently that used to be a butcher's. It does open in the evening, I expect. Best Cuts, well, you've got to have one of those. I'm assuming it's one of those Turkish barbers. The dry cleaners, that's still going. Apparently it's been there years, that one. Did somebody tell me once that the Beacon View supermarket was a shop called Lipton's? And yeah, we got the dry cleaners. What's that one there? Save and Spare. It says shop to let. Usually it looks like it was an off licence. There's the chemist next to that. The Godfather Pizza. Apparently that used to be a post office. There's a Chinese next to there, and a grocery store at the very end. There was a shop along here called Dankert's, fruit and veg, but not sure which one that would have been. Was there a shop called Four Boys? And this one at the end, that's all shuttered up. That used to be a chip shop, owned by a Greek couple, Mike and Marie. And Greeks used to own a lot of chippies in the West Bromwich area. But just look above the shops, look. Proper 60s, isn't it? Flat roofed. We've got these yellow and blue balconies in a very poor state of repair above there now, look. Yeah, look, see, you've got a post box here, and that always generally is a reminder that there was a post office here once. And yeah, the Godfather Pizza was indeed a post office. And here was the post box, right outside. There you go, look, see. It's now called Camberley House, but it was Marshall House. I remember somebody pointing out to me that there was all the named after American presidents. Roosevelt, Kennedy, Marshall. They've got this 20-odd story block here. I remember when they was building that in the late 60s. It's rather the fashion, building high rise in the 60s. Yeah, this, I don't know when this chippy was closed up, but it's been closed up quite a long time. And this brings us to this piece of land, just here. Bond Wolf. I've got it advertised as for sale now. As you can see, it was once the pub called the Mill. Yeah, the Mill stood here. It had been there since, what, around 1967, I think. Of course, it was a Mitchells and Butlers pub. They owned it, as Mitchells and Butlers owned most of the pubs around West Bromwich. I think it changed ownership in the 80s to Punch Taverns. But as you can see, the Mill was built on like of a hill. Many people said it was a lovely place, the Mill pub. It's Windmill Crescent up there. That goes right behind the back of all these houses here. Leads you to a nice hilly bank on the left as you go around. There's nothing really left. There's just a pile of rubble of when the mill used to be there. Yeah, the interesting thing about the Mill pub now is that this land is now going for auction. They want offers in excess of £586,000, and there's already planning permission granted to build 32 apartments in a kind of a 6-storey block, 10 one-bedroom flats and 22 two-bedroom flats. So, and there's going to be 38 car parking spaces at the back and around the building complex. So that's is what the residents of Charlemont Farm are going to expect very soon. Just noticed here as well, there's a kind of a concrete block here, but you can see it used to be an access road, and it was an access road to the properties on both sides here. And my nan used to live a bit further on, and they would park their cars just behind here. And yeah, you can see the access road. Look, there's the guttering all along here. It's all been left to be left overgrown and just blocked off. Would you believe that? Instead of maintaining this particular piece of road, they've decided just to let it grow wild. You can see this rather tall block. What is it, 20 stories? Is called Brierley. Look at that, eh? It just dominates the area here. In the distance there, you can see a green space where there's a skate park and a green area, green recreation area. As we pan round over here, I don't know exactly where this was because I never remembered there being a library, but there used to be a library that would serve Charlemont Farm, but that went around the similar time of the demolition of Kennedy House, I believe. They've even got their own church here, look, Mary Magdalene Church. It was just over there somewhere. There used to be a mobile chippy. Remember this green van with a chimney on the top? Back in the late 60s, early 70s. And when they demolished the library, there was a mobile library that would visit this area, just up there. But that didn't last long, I believe. Yeah, it was just here, number 348. This is where my nan used to live. Up the steps, look. And it was the first story on the left. And these were houses that would have people living at the bottom and people living at the top. So there'd be two lots of families living in this one block. That's how that was built. So you'd go up the stairs there to, if you was living at the top there, and my nan used to live in the bottom one. So the front bit here would be the lounge area, and that would be the front bedroom. And there'd be a rear bedroom, so there'd be two bedroom flats, or houses shall I say, and at the back it was a shared rear garden. We've got these low-rise flat affairs now here. There's what, about 6 or 7 blocks around this part. These were all German designed apparently. The old area, when it was being built, was built on what was known as Garden City lines. So the emphasis was on green spaces and trees, which you do see many trees around here. And there's lots of green areas in front of and around the blocks of apartments and the houses. So there's plenty of greenery and green spaces around here. And also, it has to be said, there's been a few murders around the Beacon View Road area. There was one over there back in, was it around 2019? Yeah, there's been a few murders. Well, when you say a few, 3 or 4, and of course getting down to the bottom of this road, when you go off to the right, there was the infamous murders in 1978, which I did a video about. It's only a short video I did, about Barry Williams, the crazed schizophrenic who brutally murdered 5 people. 3 people from the same road, Andrew Road, and he killed another 2 in Nuneaton on the very same day. I'll show you up Beacon View Road. There you go, look, see it's not so steep now, look, it's all levelled out now. Just at the very top end where it was quite hilly. Yeah, I didn't really count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got about half a dozen. Yeah, half a dozen of these low-rise flats. They do actually look quite smart, you know. As I said earlier, German designed apparently. Yeah, we got the different colour that makes them stand out, you know. You got like these bluish hues here and cream and brown hues there. And you got more bluish designs on these here. It's got some garages just down the access road there. I often wonder how people are going to cope when they all have to have electric cars. Where they're going to have all these electric access points. Or are they going to have wires dangling out of the 6th or 7th floor? Created a kind of a green space here with some maisonettes surrounding it. Security cameras there on the lamppost. We've got the M5 just in the distance there, and also we've got a canal which I'll show you where that is as we get a bit nearer. And all green areas here with the trees. Well, we've seen the spinney, and we've seen the place where the mill pub used to stand. I'll try and show you where the navigation once stood. This is Windmill Crescent. As its name suggests, it's a crescent. It goes in a crescent shape all the way around the back and ends up by the mill pub that once was. As we've got this huge electric pylon looming into view as we're nearing the end of our walk along Beacon View Road. There's 1 or 2 houses around here I noticed, they've got solar panels. Just beyond the canal you would be getting close to Stone Cross, but this electric pylon is just huge, isn't it? It really is, look at it. Is that more attractive to look at that or a wind turbine? I was told here Millersdale Drive, it wasn't Millersdale Drive back in the day, but there was a gun placement up here where some of the German bombers were trying to find it and attack it, because there were German planes flying across this area in November 1940, dropping bombs over at West Bromwich town, looking for the gasworks as well, which they missed. They bombed Tantony and they was bombing Walsall Road, and there was a gun placement up there somewhere and would be firing at the German planes as they was flying over. Right now we're right underneath this massive pylon. And this is an embankment here which carries the Tame Valley Canal. I'm just looking at the line of these electric pylons, and you can see they're not quite covering the tops of these houses here. They're just running parallel, but you've more or less got these lines running over the top of the houses, and you've got the canal over the back as well. They've got it all going on, living there. The Beacon View Road would sort of end here, and the road ahead would be Walsall Road. And all that new road right at the top didn't exist back in the 60s. And so this was the main road towards Walsall. And it would, it's a very low bridge, isn't it? Amazing how buses and that would go under there. Well, we'll go under there. Somebody's told me that they've stopped the leaking up this bridge. Yeah, this is called Navigation Lane now. It's a no-through road, but this was one of the main roads to Walsall. And yeah, it has in fact stopped leaking, I think. Yeah, it doesn't leak anymore. And it was in 1962 that a lorry full of chemicals was coming along this road, and the driver noticed smoke coming from the back of his lorry, and knowing the dangers of what was on board, decided to park up, and he would get out the cab to make a phone call at the navigation pub to tell them something wasn't right about the vehicle. And as he came out the pub, the whole lot went up. The lorry exploded. I just thought I'd take you up here. Just as you come under the canal bridge, you come up here and you can see the Tame Valley Canal just up here. Yeah. It's all quite tidy along here. There you go, look all the way down there, across the bridge, Beacon View Road. Just there, look. There's Beacon View and Charlemont Farm estate just over there. Okay. It's very smart up there. It says no fishing. Can't fish in there. You see a lot of people fishing in cuts now. Okay, so we've had a quick look at the canal, and I'll do is just carry on back up here. There you go, look, there's the canal bridge, and that's where I've just been. We carry on up here. This is Navigation Way now, because it's so named after the navigation pub. The navigation pub would be, I'll give you some idea, would have been a kind of here on this, where this grass is, somewhere around here. The navigation pub would have been around for many, many years. But when that lorry went off, exploded, which as I said was around about here somewhere, where he parked up in a safe spot away from all the houses, it blew up and it took the roof off, damaged all the roof of the pub. That was round about here, the navigation pub. It was closed, they closed it up in 1998. I think the last, it was demolished not long after. I think the last light and see was somebody called Henry Melody. But this is the area now, look, where the navigation once stood here, and of course all these new houses are built, creating a little estate. And now, of course, as you can see where this guttering is here, this used to be the road, Walsall Road, which would, if you turn round, would go round up through under that bridge. And all this has been built since, all this dual carriageway. Okay then folks, so there we have it. There's our walk down Beacon View Road. Nothing has changed since the last time I came down, but except the weather. I think the last time I come down here it was a lovely summer's day. Today it's mizzly and drizzly and cold and miserable, a bit like West Bromwich on most days of the week. Mind you, I might have a different opinion of West Bromwich, but anyway, we'll leave it at that. And yeah, so if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.